There is a wide variety of different weapons and equipment you can find when playing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Most of these items you find hidden throughout the different areas as you play the game. So for this video, we're not going to be covering any items you get automatically from the main story. This includes your two primary handguns, your MK22 tranquilizer, and then also your 1911 45 handgun. So for this video, we're going to be covering how and where to find 15 different weapons and then 8 different equipment items. And also just an FYI, this is going to be during Operation Snake Eater. So this footage that you see on the screen right now, this is during the Virtuous mission. But after this mission is over, you lose all your equipment and all your items, so it doesn't really matter. For this video, I'm going to be covering the earliest opportunity you can find each item and each weapon, because most items you can find in multiple different areas if you miss it the first time. And like I already said, any weapon or item you find during the Virtuous mission, you're gonna lose it. So we're gonna have to find them all over again during Operation Snake Eater. Now, the very first weapon that we can find during Operation Snake Eater is going to be located in Razvet. Now, keep in mind for this video, I'm going to do my best to put all these weapons and equipment in order. At the earliest opportunity, you can grab them throughout the main mission. Go inside the big red building and head up the stairs, and you can find the AK-47 right there hiding behind one of the explosive barrels. The AK-47 is going to be the primary assault rifle you use for the majority of the game. In the same area as Razvet, we're going to find our first piece of equipment, which is going to be a cardboard box. Now, the cardboard box might be the most underrated item in the entire game. It is very versatile. It is very useful. I love using the cardboard box. The cardboard box is especially useful if you're doing European Extreme difficulty or if you're trying to do a Fox Sound playthrough. So there are 3 different boxes we can find during Operation Snake Eater, and that's going to be cardboard box A as an alpha. The next piece of equipment we can find in Razvet is going to be the thermal goggles. Head inside the structure where we first met with Sokolov, and inside the locker, you'll find the thermal goggles waiting right there for you. I do want to mention, in this video, I'm not going to be really talking about where to find different types of grenades, miscellaneous items like the suppressor, or any healing items. Most of these can be found if you take items off of your enemy's inventory, or if you go to any ammunition depots or any storage units. So I do apologize if you came to this video trying to find a certain type of suppressor, or a certain type of grenade, or a certain type of healing item. But most of these items are everywhere. You can find them in multiple different locations. Anyways, the next item we can find in Razvet is going to be a piece of equipment called the mine detector. You can find it prior to the Ocelot unit boss fight or afterwards, like you see right here in the footage, but it's going to be right here hiding in the corner. The location after Razvet, Chiorangi Prud, also known as the swamp area with all the crocodiles in the water. This area is where we can find the crocodile cap. Head to the far left side of the swamp and get in the water and swim along the left side of the wall. Shoot any crocodiles that come in your way if they're giving you trouble, and you'll find these 2 logs right here. Swim under them, and then you'll find a little piece of land at the very end. Now, once you get to land, you're going to find a tree that you can climb on top of, and it has a tree branch that's connected by a rope to another tree. We're going to shimmy our way across this rope. And shimmying across this rope does require stamina, so make sure you eat and you have enough stamina before you attempt this. So once you're done shimmying your way across, we're going to come across another rope below us, and we're going to drop and grab that one. There are a couple crocodiles in the water below you, so if you do mess up, prior to attempting this, you can just shoot them or throw a grenade to take them out. Once you're on the second rope, shimmy your way across, and you'll come across this little piece of land. You can drop, and you'll find the crocodile cap waiting right there. The croc cap can be useful to hide from enemies if you're in a water area, but it can be a little inconsistent. It just takes a little bit of trial and error to figure out what works. It also works to scare off enemy guard dogs. The next area after the swamp is called Bolshaya Pass South, and in this area we can find a bunch of claymore mines set all around the area. Now, you can crawl over these mines and Snake will pick them up and put them in his inventory. I just wanted to mention this area because there's at least a dozen different mines that Snake can pick up. But claymore does kind of count as a miscellaneous item. You can find them on enemy inventory and storage areas and all over the game. And there's multiple different areas you can find claymore set on the ground, like in this cave area after the pain boss fight. The next area after the swamp, Bolshaya Pass Base. In this area, we can find a food storage and also a weapons depot. You can find multiple storage buildings throughout the entire game, but like I said, this is a good area to find grenades, TNT, claymore, any miscellaneous items. Now let's talk about the weapon we can find in this area, the mousetrap. If you find a food storage in the game, there's most likely going to be a mousetrap waiting for you in there because most food storage areas have a rat problem. So make sure to always look in there for any mousetraps. Alright, after the Ocelot boss fight, we're going to come to the cave branch and we can find 2 pieces of equipment in this area. I'll post a video tutorial about the cave soon, but for right now, just try to focus on finding the waterfall. In between these 2 waterfalls, you'll find the torch. On the opposite side of the waterfall, you'll find this walkway carved into the cave. Just follow this walkway, crawl through these little areas on the floor, and make your way to the very end. And make sure not to fall off. There's a couple different areas where you can fall and you have to restart all over again. Once you make it to the very end, you can find the night vision goggles. So there are 3 different areas inside this cave. The first area, the second area, and then the third area where you fight the pain boss fight. So when you enter the second area, make sure you go down the right path. And when you find this area, you will be rewarded with the shotgun. After the pain boss fight, you'll come to a creek, and at the end of the creek, go down the left path. This will take you over to Ponazovye West. And in this area, we're going to find the SVD sniper rifle. Take out the enemy guards and then go over to the dock and you'll find a weapon storage depot where the sniper rifle is hidden. Granny Gorky South is going to be the Fear boss fight arena. And in this area, we can find one of the most iconic weapons in the entire game. Of course, I'm talking about the book. And keep in mind, we can find multiple books throughout the entire game in different areas.
Okay, just a second.
Granny Gorky Lab exterior, inside walls, is where we can find our next weapon.
Freeze. Freeze.
In this area, we can find another weapon storage depot, and this is where we can find our next assault rifle. I don't know how to say this properly. XM16E1. I'm not a gun guy. I don't know the proper names for these, I'm sorry. And what's really cool about this assault rifle, we can find a suppressor and attach it. And with a suppressor attached, this gun is really OP and you can become a stealth god. Alright, head inside the Granny Gorky lab and we can find our next 2 weapon items. We're gonna head downstairs to continue the main story and to meet up with Grannon. Granny Gorky Lab B1 West. This is where we can find 2 different weapons. In this little office right here, we can find the SIG gas spray. If you know how to use the SIG gas spray properly, it can become one of the most OP weapons in the entire game, especially if you're doing a non-lethal playthrough. Anyways, in this office area, you can go over to the lockers, and right here you'll find the handkerchief, and the handkerchief will put enemies to sleep. This next area is after the Fear boss fight, but before the end boss fight. Sivyat Gorny East is an optional area. It's kind of hidden. It's not mandatory. You don't have to come this way. But in this area is our first opportunity to pick up the light machine gun. Go inside the building and we can find a lot of useful equipment and ammunition. So head inside this room right here, and on the other side of the boxes, we'll find the light machine gun. Now, personally, I say don't pick it up. Leave it here so we can save it for later at a different point. If you leave it here, we can find it again later on at Groznygrad, where it is much more useful. Also, an FYI, there's a second access point to the light machine gun if you crawl under the building. Alright, we're gonna skip forward a little bit to Groznygrad where we can pick up the light machine gun again. We're gonna go to the northwest section. In this area, we can find a weapon storage depot. So you can save the light machine gun until after the torture scene and after you escape prison. And if you do that, it'll be waiting for you right here. And remember, at that point in the story, you have no weapons to help you. So you can use this light machine gun against enemy guards in the area, or during the Sorrow boss fight, or against the Ocelot unit if you left the transmitter in. Alright, our next weapon is going to be at the end boss fight. The end boss fight is unique for multiple reasons. So when you beat boss fights non-lethally in this game, they're gonna give you their special camo, but not the end. If you beat him non-lethal, he's gonna give you his sniper rifle called the Mosin Nagant, which shoots non-lethal tranquilizer rounds. Sacrovino North, we can pick up the Mosin Nagant sniper rifle. Alright, next location is going to be up in the mountains where we can find the RPG, or the rocket launcher. Inside the weapons storage depot, it's going to be waiting for you right there. And this is the perfect location to find the RPG because there's a lot of helicopters patrolling the area. The next weapon we're going to be looking for is inside the Groznygrad Weapons Lab East Wing. We're going to be looking for another assault rifle called the Scorpion. Only problem is it's locked behind a secret closet right there. Snake does not have the proper credentials to unlock this door, so we have to find somebody who does have the credentials. You can grab an enemy and drag them over and the door will unlock for them, or drag their unconscious body and the door will still open. And hidden in the corner, we can find the Scorpion. Now the second option is you can grab Rykov's officer uniform, and on his uniform are the credentials to open the door, so it'll unlock for you. And just an FYI, inside the Groznygrad library, we can find another book. Next, after the torture scene in the prison cell, we're gonna find the fork, and we're also gonna find the single-action army revolver. So it's 2 more weapons.
Hey. What's going on here? Knock it off!
Next piece of equipment we can find is going to be the cardboard box B as in Bravo, and this is going to be after the romantic night in the waterfall with Eva. Groznygrad Southeast, where the prison and also the torture scene is located, if you go to the back of the building, you can find cardboard box C as in Charlie. And you can grab this box while you're trying to escape the prison cell. It helps out a lot. Also on top of the building in the same area, we can find another book. Inside the Groznygrad torture room, we can find an office, and within this office, we're going to find the next piece of equipment, the camera. Alright, this next one is going to be a little funny, but let me explain. When you have your final showdown with Ocelot, you have to pick the revolver on the right, because that one has no bullets. Now Ocelot is going to have the revolver with a blank bullet, and he's going to shoot you. You have to choose this ending in order to keep the revolver at the end of the game. See, Snake tries to give it back to Ocelot, but Ocelot gives it right back to him. So this means you can keep it for your next playthrough. Because if you remember, Snake already had a revolver, but he gave it to Eva during the escort mission, so he lost it. And this is the only way to keep the revolver for your next playthrough. So when the game ends and you get your official ranking, for this one I got Orca, the game is going to reward you based on your playthrough. And right here, you get the single action army back. And along with this, you also get the Patriot to use on your next playthrough. So that's 2 weapons we can get. Alright, that should be every item for this video, and every piece of equipment and weapon we can find in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So hey, if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. I really enjoy making these tutorials. They do take quite a bit of my time, so any likes or any comments, I would appreciate it. Any positive comments, don't be a dick. I also want to say that I recorded most of this footage while live streaming on my YouTube, so come say hi sometime. Also, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, is right around the corner. I took a whole week off of work just to live stream it and to post a bunch of tutorials and make videos, so come by and say hi for those live streams. Once again, thank you for watching and goodbye.